I thought my morning routine was helping me stay calm. I'd wake up, check my phone to see what I missed overnight, scroll through a few updates while still in bed, you know, easing into the day. But here's what I didn't realize. That innocent morning phone check was amplifying my natural cortisol awakening response, spiking my stress hormones before my brain even finished its overnight cleaning process. Every notification was triggering the same stress response as spotting danger in the wild. And my nervous system was stuck in panic mode because my brain couldn't tell the difference between tagged in a photo and run for your life. That morning phone check was amplifying my natural cortisol awakening response. Cortisol levels spiked dramatically within 30 to 45 minutes after waking, and I was dumping digital stimulation right on top of this natural surge. Your brain runs its own alarm clock system, preparing your body for the day ahead by flooding it with stress hormones. But when I grabbed my phone, I was telling my nervous system there was an emergency before my brain could distinguish between good morning and code red. Think of it like this. Your brain's cortisol system is like a fire station. The sirens are already wailing to get the crew ready for the day. But then I'm running in screaming about 17 different emergencies from my notifications, and suddenly the whole station thinks the city's burning down. No wonder I felt wired before I even got out of bed. But here's where it gets worse. I was also drinking my coffee during this cortisol peak. Every morning at 7 a.m., like clockwork, I'd pour myself a giant mug thinking caffeine would help me focus. What I didn't know is that caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, which normally help regulate your stress response. So I was essentially creating a cortisol traffic jam. My body's natural stress hormones were already at their daily peak, and I was throwing a stimulant on top that prevented my system from naturally coming back down. It's like revving your car engine while the parking brake is still on. My nervous system was getting mixed signals. Cortisol screaming, wake up and handle threats, while caffeine blocked the very mechanisms designed to calm me down once those threats were assessed. So here's my question. Are you drinking coffee during that morning cortisol spike too? Or have you figured out a different timing? Comment your thoughts below. Drop your answer in the comments below. Because this caffeine cortisol combo was just the beginning of my stress hormone disaster. I used to take pride in my multitasking abilities. While on video calls, I'd respond to emails, check Slack messages, maybe even sneak in some online shopping, all while nodding along to whatever my colleague was saying. I thought this made me efficient, productive, someone who could handle multiple priorities at once. But every time I switched between tasks, my brain was essentially slamming on the brakes and flooring the accelerator simultaneously. This mental whiplash triggers cortisol spikes that are actually worse than public speaking anxiety. Your brain interprets task switching as a threat to your ability to complete important work, so it floods your system with stress hormones to help you focus better. Except you can't focus better when you're chemically panicked, so you switch tasks again, creating an endless cycle of cortisol chaos. But 3 months into working from home, I discovered my staying informed habit was actually a cortisol nightmare. I'd check the news during lunch breaks, scroll through social media between meetings, maybe catch up on the latest updates while my computer was loading. You know, being a responsible citizen who cares about current events. Every breaking news alert, every crisis update, every developing story notification was keeping my fight or flight system permanently activated. My brain couldn't distinguish between there's a problem somewhere in the world and there's a problem in your immediate environment that requires action. So I'd finish reading about some distant catastrophe, then try to focus on spreadsheets, while my nervous system was still buzzing with the chemical signature of imminent danger. The irony? I was stressing about being stressed, anxious that I wasn't staying informed enough, which only cranked the cortisol higher. Now I changed everything. I started delaying my coffee until 10 a.m., letting my natural cortisol peak run its course before adding caffeine to the mix. I put my phone on airplane mode until after my morning routine was complete, giving my brain space to ease into consciousness without digital chaos. And instead of multitasking during calls, I started doing one thing at a time, even if it felt painfully slow at first. The low-intensity movement breaks, just 5-minute walks between tasks, provided immediate cortisol reduction, and spending 20 minutes outside during lunch lowered my stress hormones measurably. But the biggest shift was batching my news consumption to just 15 minutes in the evening, instead of letting crisis updates pepper my entire day. 3 months later, I wake up feeling calm instead of wired. My focus stays steady through afternoon meetings, and that constant background buzz of anxiety has finally quieted down. Subscribe for more hidden productivity traps and watch this sleep optimization video next. It goes even deeper.